Hey, Sean Price with Price and Price Realtors of Long and Foster, and this is our weekly market update. Again, this is for the Northern Virginia market, but specifically these numbers come from Great Falls, Tysons area, McLean, and Vienna. And what we saw in this last 7 days is we saw a decrease in properties that were either new to the market or came back on the market by 39%. So that's a huge drop in numbers of properties going onto the market. Along with that, we saw an increase in buyer activity, a decrease in buyer activity of 5%. So there was a little bit of a slowdown in the market in general, pretty insignificant as far as buyer activity is concerned, but very significant as far as new properties coming onto the market. So basically what that means is buyer activity has been creeping up and up and up as we've gotten closer to the coming out of the shutdown. Buyer activity has been creeping up and up, and what we've seen with seller inventory is going down and down. So we've been saying this for quite some time, that there was a window during the stay-at-home orders for buyers to be able to get into properties without multiple offer situations. We're seeing that we are going into that strong seller's market that we were predicting as we start coming out of this. In fact, the ratio of new properties to properties that went under contract in this last week is 150%. The previous 7 days before this week, it was 94%. So that's how much of a jump it was. And then the previous 7 days before that, so 21 days ago, was somewhere around 120%, just if I'm going based on memory. So we saw about 120, 125% of properties going under contract versus properties that were coming on the market. Last week we saw a little dip in that, and then this week we're up to 150%. So what that means is pretty much all of the new properties that are coming on the market are selling, plus a lot of the older properties that have been sitting on the market for a while. We're getting into some of that old reserve inventory. And with the inventory numbers coming down and buyer activity staying pretty steady, it looks like it's going to be even stronger next week. So if you're a buyer, this is still a good time to get in and try to buy. We've got great low interest rates. It's a good time to get into property. It's still not as many buyers on the market as there were prior to COVID-19, and probably not as many as there will be come June and July once people really start getting out. If you're a seller, the inventory is really low. This is a great time to list your property. Okay, if you have any questions about this, please feel free to post below or reach out to us directly.